Welcome to a new video in my home automation series, and I do have a video which started exactly like this, which I actually recorded just a couple of hours ago. Depending on how I jiggle the things, that might not be the previous video anyway. So I was talking about how these LinknLink things, so this is a temperature and humidity sensor, this is a radar motion sensor, and this is an ER blaster. So how this can be configured to talk to MQTT and be able to control via MQTT. And I thought, well, I can just show the ones who are using TapHome smart home system how you can configure them, because I think it's really good. And of course we do have temperature sensors and motion sensors. Okay, definitely temperature sensors, radar sensors. Maybe they can be just digital inputs, so they are not particularly new, and you can find out a solution. But I'm not really sure if we have other solutions for sending infrared signals to turn TVs, hi-fis, maybe air conditioning units and that sort of stuff from TapHome. And what I'm going to do here is I have this LED light here, which looks like a rope, and that's controlled by this controller, and that has an infrared thingy because it has an infrared remote as well. And I have trained this guy to be able to send the infrared signals. Well, I trained a few of them, so I can do on off and then red, green, blue. So I can do the three colors. I could have done the other buttons as well, but I wasn't interested in doing everything, just to show you how it works. And let me show you how the things work. So this is the infrared blaster. So I'm just going to hold it up so it points towards the receiver. And then let's do the thing in TapHome. So I can turn the LEDs on. Yeah. I can turn it off. Yeah. And if I turn it on, I can change the colors. Oh, that's actually blue. I don't know what the camera is doing, but this is blue. And then I can change it to red, and I can change it to blue as well. Sorry, previously it was green. So that's green. It just shows up turquoise on the camera, but actually it is green. So yeah, so this guy is able to send out the signals to control this infrared remote, and I am sending those data out from TapHome. And you can also see that I have the two other sensors. So this is the temperature and the humidity sensor, which is here. So I'm able to pick up the temperature and the humidity. And this is a motion sensor. So at the moment it says, motion is detected, because obviously I'm here. I don't think I will show you when no motion is detected, because this is a radar sensor. So it's going to, sense me no matter what I do. So it's great stuff. It is working. So let me show you how I did this. Maybe we are going to look at the TapHome. So first of all, I have already covered how you set up these devices and how you get them to the new firmware that allows the MQTT communication, how you set up the MQTT in my previous video. So I'm not going to go into that. The only thing I just want to go through is just to quickly go through the different topics. So everything, so all these sensors, they show up under the home, sorry, wrong screen. So they show under the home node in MQTT. So actually this MQTT broker is in my home server, but you should be able to set up an MQTT broker on the TapHome as well, which I'm going to show a little bit later. So anyway, so this is so all these show up in under home. And by the way, I'm using the MQTT Explorer just to see what's going on the MQTT server. So for the third time, it is all these devices show up under home. And for example, this is the motion sensor, and it has a status topic where it says PIR detected, and it either says 1 for detection or 0 for no detection. And then it has another thing as well. So this is the temperature sensor. So humidity, so that's temperature, and that's the humidity. So again, they have separate topics for temperature and humidity, and each of them has a status, and it sends this JSON, which we are going to parse later on. And the infrared remote, it creates all these different topics, and these are based on the various button that was trained for those particular remotes. So you can see that on the LED strip, I have one which is configured red, and I didn't have a button for green and blue, so I just used the generic button, which is called Customize 1, Customize 2. And I also had a button for bright and dim, which I've trained as well, but I haven't configured in TapHome, so that I can increase and decrease the brightness of the LED strip. And by the way, all the other stuff that you see here are, for example, my TV remotes. So I should be able to control the TV, but I'm using the LED strip because it's easier to film. So going back to TapHome, so obviously you go to settings and then you go to, can I collapse this? No, I can't. So you go to hardware, and then if you don't have an MQTT server, then you can create an MQTT broker, which is going to run inside TapHome, on the TapHome server. So you can configure the IP address, which is obviously the IP address of the device, and then the port and the username and the password. And then next thing is you create a new interface, which is going to be a packet parser. So that's my one, which I renamed as LinknLink. So I have all the LinknLink devices here. And then you create a new module, and then you specify that that's going to be an MQTT module. And within that, you configure your IP, the IP of the MQTT broker. Again, for me, this is my own server. If that's your TapHome, then you put the TapHome IP. The port is 188.3. And then the root topic, as I said, for me, it is everything comes under home. So I configured the root topic home / and hash. So basically under home, it listens to any topics. And if you click in the service settings here, you can specify your user ID and the password, and that's it. There is nothing else. And then you start adding devices. So the first device was the motion sensor. So I just created a new device. This is actually a read contact. And then in the service settings, you can see read contact. I have created this code, this listener script to read the data. So this reads the data which is received over MQTT. It extracts the the topic and the payload, and then it checks if this is the topic. So again, it goes back to the motion sensor. That's the topic. So we are checking, because again, it's going to receive, so this will get executed every time a message received for any of the sensors. So we will check if this is the motion sensors that we're looking for. And then from the payload, we extract the PR_detected. And actually that's 1 or 0, but TapHome uses 1 and 0 for the this RC valuable as well. So I can just assign it to it. So that's fairly easy. And then, the read script is nothing. I mean, this is all commented out, so you can just delete it. And that's it. And I change the icon and the text. So the next one is the temperature sensor. So that's again a temperature sensor device. And here the script is almost the same, but we are checking it twice because we can have either an update on the temperature or the humidity. So if this is the temperature topic, which is the _T, then we again extract the temperature value, which comes as an mtemp, and then we have to divide it by 100. Again, if you remember, that's how it comes. And for some reason, it sends the value as without decimal places, but that's like 23.85 centigrade. And the humidity is the same. So if the topic is the device ID _hum, then the envir humidity, and then we just have to divide it by 10,000 because, well, again, the decimal places, but then because it's a percentage, TapHome expects it to as 0.35 for 35%. So that updates either the temperature or the humidity. That's cool. And for the rest of the things, these are going to be just buttons. That's for the LED, or anything which is related to any buttons, like if in the TV remote, the volume button or the on button or the off, well, there is no off, but on the TV usually there is one on off button. What else? Channel change, everything. So here we are only sending data, and so you can see the listener script and the read script. Actually, this is all commented out again, so there is nothing here. These are just a template that gets automatically created when you create these devices. And then here you see in the write script that we send an MQTT publish to the topic. And I've gone through that in detail in the previous video, but it looks like that for infrared stuff, if this is like a light which can be switched on and off, then it sends the there is a switch topic where we send either ones or zeros depending on whether we want to turn something on and off. So here we send the switch topic 1, that's how we turn it on. And then on the off button, which is again a button, we send the same 0 to turn it off. So that's specific to the on-off function. So that's either, switch 1 or switch 0. And then for everything else, which is any other button presses, the way it works is that, again, you send to the topic of the device, and there is a press command subtopic, and you have to send the name of the button, which you can see after the underscore for all these other examples: red, customize 1, customize 2, bright, and dim. Again, I've explained this more in detail in the previous video when I was talking about how these data structures work, or topics work. So all we have to do is send that command to the press command. So, this is the red. So I'm sending press command and the word red, which is, you see, that one. So these are the sample topics that got automatically created whenever I trained a new button on the infrared remote. And similarly, the other one is, the green. As I said, I didn't have a green button, so it was called customize 1, and then the blue is going to be customized 2. So as you can see, it's very, very simple, because once you train the buttons to this eRemote, which is going to send out the infrared signals, then you can just send the name of that button into this press command topic, and then it's just going to send out the corresponding infrared signal. And so the only thing you need to do is just make sure that this transmitter is, in the range of the receiver. I mean, this is quite, a beefy infrared blaster. So it has infrared diodes pretty much like every single direction. So once you have it in your room and it's, pretty much not blocked, there is a high chance that it's going to hit, whatever device, your TV, LED strips, whatever. So yeah, I think at least I find this very easy to use. Let me change colors. Again, green, red, then blue, and turning it off. So especially, as I said right in the beginning of the video, I mean, temperature and humidity and motion we have seen we can do a lot of other ways, but I haven't really seen any other options how you can, send out infrared signals. And this MQTT integration makes it just so easy. And especially because that is built into TapHome. Again, it just makes so easy for TapHome to control like infrared devices. It could be your TV, it could be your, maybe your AC unit if it doesn't offer integration in any other way. But even these, cheap LED strips, maybe you have already built your house, maybe you have some controllable LED strips over the, LED outputs. But maybe you want to install a few more and you don't have any other ways to wire it up to like a TapHome unit, which can control LED strips. But then, you can go away with some, cheap stuff, an infrared one, and then just train this guy to those infrared remotes. And of course, you can, train multiple remotes for different LED, strip controllers. I mean, if you buy the same model, there is a high chance that they are going to listen to the same infrared codes. But if you buy a few of them from, different vendors, then maybe you get lucky and then you can get, ones that listen to different infrared codes and different infrared remotes. But again, the possibility is there, and I think it is really easy to do. So anyway, I think that was all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.